came that early April morning at an air base in Colorado. 40 flying fortresses line the apron. 4,000 men march out for a final inspection. They've trained long and hard with these ships, the 400 men who fly them, and the 3,600 who work to keep them flying. Now the 351st Bombardment Group is ready. By the dawn's early light, it assembles for overseas combat. You're on your way, Joe. This is it. With his staff, Colonel William A. Hatchett, Jr. looks over his 4 squadrons. You feel the old man is proud of you. He finds no fault with you today, nor you with him. You'd fly his wing to hell and gone. Sergeant Philip J. Halls, top turret gunner from Springfield, Missouri. He feels that way. So does his pal Kenny, Sergeant Kenneth L. Halls, ball turret gunner from Perkins, Oklahoma. Related? No. They think they might have been several generations ago back in Germany, but now, just 2 guys with the same uncle, Sam. Meet their pilot, Lieutenant Theodore Argyropoulos of Redding, California. Argy's brother is in the Air Corps, too. Their dad was born in Greece. Yes, the Greeks have a word for it. Fight. Their bombardier, Lieutenant Daniel F. Stevens of Chicago. He can bat 1,000 with a Norton bomb sight. Sergeant Paul J. Posty, ball turret gunner. His dad came from Italy. Paul was formerly a pastry cook. He's got 1 brother in the Navy. Another, a Marine, missing in action. Here's Sergeant Tim Tutchet, tail gunner from Mariana Lake, New Mexico. On the reservation, they named him Aki. That means boy in Navajo. Uncle Sam's boy, too. A few last-minute instructions, and we're off. The compass points northeast. Take another look down there. That's your part of the earth. Out of that desert, those mountains, those fields has grown the American way of life. What you're fighting for. You remember the Colonel's quiet words? Men, the enemy has asked for it. Let him have it. Seek no quarter, nor give any beyond reason. Be firm, be just, and Godspeed you all. 8.5 hours out of Newfoundland, another sunrise. It's rising out of the red of battle, this sun. But 40 more B-17s, 3 minutes apart, have roared across the Atlantic night. The Irish coast looks up to say, top of the morning. And a lake in the Ulster Highlands gives the navigator a checkpoint. Off the Scottish coast, Dernya Craig is a signal for right rudder south, across the English Midlands. Pilots are impatient with lack of sleep. Head up, boy. Pour on the coal. Let's get there. Different when the wings carried swastikas instead of these big white stars. Don't worry, folks. We're dropping nothing today, just our hats in the ring. Hello, Missy. We brought something for you and Brother. Chewing gum and chocolate bars. And there's a crate of oranges in the ball turret. Ah, there, Grandpa. We'll be seeing you for a glass of that. And there's the base. 400 acres of dispersal areas. The RAF is on hand to welcome us. Set her down, Colonel. Set her down. The 351st becomes part of the 8th Air Force. We've reached the battlefront. The combat crews move into English barracks. They give them those simple, quiet names for which Americans are famous. Later, the ground crews arrive. Hiya, Gus. Great boat trip, huh? Only 7 days and without any escort, too, See any submarines? Oh, 100 of them, huh? Well, I guess you ought to know, Gus. They tell me you was hanging over the rail all the way. Next day, big doings. Class A uniform. Shine those buttons. His Royal Highness the Duke of Gloucester, brother to the King of England, drops in and is greeted by the old man. What's up? Sergeant Major says the RAF is handing over the field to us.
On behalf of the Air Ministry, I hand over this aerodrome complete with buildings and equipment for your safekeeping.
It gives me great pleasure to accept this station on behalf of the United States Army Air Force.
Okay, RAF. If we can fit your boots, we'll walk it straight, brother. Another surprise visitor. General Arnold himself doing a world inspection flight. He tells you you've got a tough assignment. This is one head man who knows and doesn't kid you. We have the privilege to meet General Aker, Commanding General, 8th Air Force.
All right, thank you, sir.
Gable. Yeah, glad to see you. How are you coming to this camera training film of yours?
Well, it's a little early to tell yet, sir, but we're turning a camera on everything and everybody.
Well, I know what General Arnold had in mind in having you make this gunnery picture. Captain Gable, our gunners are already the best in the business. But if they were only 10% better, it'd cost the Germans another 100 fighters a month.
So fire away, gunners. Plenty more practice before that first mission. His sleeve is a forked wolf. Track him. If you don't, he might get you, and you might have to bail out. Over the channel, perhaps. But if you do, a Spitfire of the Air Sea Rescue Service is bound to spot you. A stubborn, tough gang, this outfit. They'll go after you any time, any place. They picked up men 3 miles off the French coast with Heine defense batteries screaming, "No, you don't." Their answer is always, "Sorry, old boy, we will." Work on your identification of aircraft. Over here, it's with a real McCoy, such as this captured Ju-88. Well, there it is. Everything up forward, punched under the nose. But the Canadian pilot says it's a sweet flying ship. Yes, sir. A dangerous all-purpose aircraft. Or the Heinkel 111K. A bad hombre, but he makes good airplanes, gentlemen. These will be a happy sight in days to come. Your fighter escort, that big barrel nose job, circled in white, your own American P-47, the Thunderbolt, side by side with a graceful spit. These are what you don't shoot at. You hear daily lectures on security given by Major Scott, your Scotch-born intelligence officer.
Let's stop kidding ourselves. This flying field is only 20 minutes from the battlefront. The dumb spies have all been shot. The smart ones are still living. And you may run into one of them tonight at the Red Lion pub.
And if you go to the pub,
remember, 1 pound is not $1, but $4. And that equals 20 shillings. 1 shilling equals 12 pennies, which equals 20 cents. 1 English penny equals 2 American pennies. And don't throw your pennies around.
Major, seems to me the paper in this town is not very durable.
What do you mean, durable? I've had this one for 20 years.
What is it, Fred? What is it? One of those bitter lessons you learn in training. Flying close formation in rough air at low altitude is no good, gentlemen. Save that for high altitude, when you're headed for the target. Next morning, we crawl out of the sack to find Britishers on the field again. Big Halifax bombers that had blasted Berlin during the night. Their own field was closed in by weather, so they dropped in on us for breakfast. Say, Percy, how's the yak over there? Rough? Oh, not half bad, Yank. Well, cheerio, lads. Thanks for the ham and eggs. So long, Percy, old boy. We'll be finding out for ourselves one of these days. That day arrives. The order comes over the teletype. The communications clerk carries it to Colonel Milton, operations officer. To Colonel Burns, deputy commander. The old man is on the phone. Then in the briefing room.
I'm summarizing. Remember, you route in to this DR point where you go northeast to avoid this black area. T-47s will escort you to about this point on the way in, and Spit 9 will meet you about here on the way out and escort you all the way home.
And now the weather officer. Weather's plenty important.
You'll probably have to go over and above the altitude that you're scheduled to fly, 23,000 feet. From the IP to the target, the winds will be very strong tailwinds, and your ground speed should be, well, about 260 miles an hour. The visibility is good everywhere east of that cold front, and the temperature at the target should be comparatively warm, minus 25 degrees centigrade.
Today is your baptism of fire. If Lieutenant Argyropoulos ever felt responsibility, he feels it now. In the armament shop, his crew is picking up their guns.
Now remember, fellas, don't let them get too close trying for a sure kill. The main job is to bring these airplanes back. You got plenty of ammunition. Keep them out there at long range.
Oh, we know. They've given you an easy hop. Only 3.5 hours in and out. What they call a milk run. But you'll remember this first mission. You don't admit it now. You wouldn't show it for the world. But later you find out everybody else felt the same way you did. Flash order from Wing headquarters. Wing wants 3 more ships added to the high group. 3 more bomb bays have to be loaded. Got to step on it. Positions in the formation change. Doesn't concern Sergeants Kenny and Phil Hulls. Gunners think only of smooth-working guns and plenty of ammunition. Ammunition's cheap. 6 cents worth of .50 caliber wanged into the cockpit of a Messerschmitt. That's what will bring you home. What did that weatherman say? 30 below over the target? Electrically heated suits. The Air Corps dresses for every occasion. Yes, everything has to be right, brother. Check everything. Every strap tight. Every buckle set. Everything understood. You get into your flak suit. Mighty heavy material, but it wears well, the man says. A thermos of hot coffee. The joker who brings it says it'll help keep you awake. Art straps on his throat mic. Over this intercom system, he'll be able to talk to every man in the ship. And they can talk to him. They'll be talking for keeps today. Well, that flare from the tower ought to be along any minute now. There it is. Start engines. The colonel's already been on missions with seasoned outfits. Today, he leads you on your berth. Second flare. Start taxi. Punch wing to wing at the start of the runway. Easy now, slow. You'll cut somebody's tail off. Rev her up, but ride those brakes hard, Fred. Roger. You keep your eye on the tower. Take off. The old man leans full on his throttle. At 15-second intervals, you follow. You're on your way. The rest of the outfit sits down to wait.
Go ahead, Mike. Your deal. Come on, I cut.
Oh, okay. What time are they due back, do you know?
Scotty said around 5:20.
Gosh, I sure hope they all...
Hey, how many is dealing? I'm in.
Oh, sorry.
We know, Mike. Everybody's sweating them out.
You mean what's coming over those trees, Major? No, that's not them. Just a flock of crows.
I was a truck driver on Canal Street, but I never felt like this before.
I ride the ambulances. I gotta be casual. You know, carefree and easy, like the doc.
Listen, wise guys, talk to us. The ground crew for each ship. We'll tell you how to feel.
Okay, here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. That's the stuff. 17, 18, 19, 20. Here's the old man and Jenny. Yeah, that's your ship, Corporal. You can uncross those fingers now. 627. That's Joe Frischholz. A little hot, Joe, but you're a hot pilot. Here's Gable in 742. Chalk him up. Here's old Zip in 879. He's got number 4 prop feather, too. Here's 953 with number 2 out. And look, Jim couldn't get his Bombay doors closed either. OK sign, huh, Sergeant? Must have laid him right on the nose. Yep. Oldie says he saw him land right on the MPI. Nice bombing, Steve. That's from me, Pete Provenzale, your navigator. Okay, Phil, chalk up number 1. Nice driving, Captain Arch. You sure know your evasive action. Uh-oh, Harry caught something. A 20 millimeter right across his radio. Arch looks at a hole in the horizontal stabilizer. Nothing at all. Hi, Pete. Come on, let's stow these guns and get to interrogation. Yeah, you're feeling pretty cocky. Nobody blamed you. It's great to get that first one over with. But this one was pretty easy, remember? You got a lot more to go. Longer ones, tougher ones. Take it easy, boys. Take it easy. Back from the raid comes Major Louis Nowak, Group Surgeon. Doc flew this first mission to study the physical reactions of men in combat. He didn't have to go, but that's the kind of a doc he is. And today, on the walls of the officers' mess, begins the chronological record of the group's success. Coutray, a German fighter base in Belgium. Annie doesn't live there anymore. In the meantime, we find Kenny and Phil cleaning their guns in front of the armament shop.
Hello, Captain. Hello, fellas. Well, how was it?
You know, Captain, I don't think those Germans like us.
Are you ready to go again? Sure. Got to get this thing over. Did you learn anything you didn't know before?
Plenty. At home, they told us the Jerry's made most of their attacks on the tail. Today, most of them are on the nose.
Yeah. Most of the time I had my turret pointed at 12 o'clock. I must have fired 1,000 rounds.
Let's go all these guns, Ken. All set?
Yes, check those guns. You had plenty more use for them the next 2 weeks. Emden, Kiel, Wilhelmshaven, St. Nazaire, Bremen. And every swastika stands for a Hun pilot that asked for it and got it. Came days when enemy targets were hidden by weather. So the more energetic of you found relaxation in peaceful combat. While the more studious men discussed tactical charts and maps, or something.
Could you give me a pound again?
But the more cultured of the group, like Kenny and Phil, went into the nearby villages to visit the quaint old cathedrals, churches and shops in the English countryside surrounding us. Or on days when they were confined near the base, the old cathedrals and shops would come out to see them. This little shop wants to go home. Meanwhile, back at the kitchen, we find a very unhappy and angry man.
Hello, Sergeant Posty.
Hello, Captain Gable.
What's this? I thought you were a broad turret gunner.
I thought so too, sir, but I've been grounded.
Oh, your pants crept up on you, huh?
Yes, sir. They found I was chef at the Brown Derby in Hollywood, and now they have me in the mess making a cake tonight for the officers' party.
Nothing you can do about getting back into combat?
I don't think so, Captain.
Well, Sergeant, remember this. There are 2 kinds of cake. One of them's good, and the other one, I'll be seeing.
But gals or parties, you're still fighting a war. And you're getting mighty good at it. Nobody knows it better than the sucker who started it. Little Adolf.
Well, Sergeant Posty, back into combat, huh?
Yes, sir.
How'd you manage it?
Well, sir, you know what you said. There are 2 kinds of cake.
So Posty's back in the air with you. You're blowing factories and power plants 1,000 feet in the air.
Okay, how about you, Winchester?
Well, I have a little excitement.
What happened?
I have a little present here for you.
What's that, black?
Came in the side of the radio room and hit the buckle on my parachute down on the floor.
Who had this plane? Phil. What time was that?
It was about $1,600.
$1,600. Where'd it happen?
You know, that's what I
It's right here, just east of Austin.
East of Austin.
That's right. We'll confirm that.
I saw it. I confirmed it. After he fired it, came down and passed underneath our left wing and exploded right underneath it. Nobody bailed out.
And when you hand out punishment like this, you've got to take some, too. The day you got back from over Villers-Coublay, just outside of Paris, was plenty rugged. Signal flares. That means wounded aboard. What's tough about it was you had to bring your bombs back. You couldn't drop them. When you reached the target, you found it closed over by weather. That's an order when you're flying over France. No indiscriminate bombing. Just German installations. Colonel Milton, who led the raid, is a tired, sick guy this day. And nobody blames him. He had to fight his way 3 hours in, 3 hours out, under constant attack by over 200 Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs. He lost men, he lost ships, and couldn't strike his blow. That's rough. Here's Peter Provenzali. Remember him? Argus navigator? Today he got a 20 millimeter through the leg. Control cable shot in two, but some wounded gunner wouldn't quit. He tied them together. There. Both waist gunners, huh? The docs are working on them now. One's pretty bad. Easy now, you guys. It's Bob Wallace, co-pilot. He slammed one through the cockpit, tore into Wally below his knee. Bulletproof glass. Well, Sergeant, guess you live right. Yes, the bombardiers with their first aid kits had plenty of work today, crawling back through the bomb bays, trying to keep a steady hand in the rough going. Many of your pals left you that day.
guys. There's another loading.
But if you happen to catch one in the wrong place, they've got a pretty nice repair shop. Ever see a sergeant flip a tulip in a lieutenant's face? Well, you just did. Yeah, while the gang at the base carries on, you can take it easy for a while. How they fighting, Sarge? Nice fat fight, huh? This one's been stretched a little. We drop in on Lieutenant Bob Wallace to see how he's doing.
How are you feeling? Great. I'll be out of here in a couple of weeks. Oh, Miss O'Neill, it's Captain Gable.
How do you do, Captain Gable?
How do you do, Miss O'Neill? Wally, I never got a chance to ask you. Tell me just what happened when you got hit.
Well, we'd left the target and we were on our way home. We got to the post and we had our guns stowed away. A couple of FWs snuck up on us and gave us a good burst.
Oh, I see. You had your guns stowed away, huh?
That's right.
That was a little early, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
It's not a very good idea to relax over here until you get back to your own base. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, go ahead. Then what happened?
Well, after I got hit, I climbed down out of the pilot's compartment and got the top turret gunner to help me down into Bombay. He gave me some first aid, put the tourniquet on my leg, and took a good job of it.
Well, that's fine. I guess you think it's a good idea for these combat crews to have first aid training then, is that right?
I sure do.
Yeah. So, Wally, what do you think of the B-17s? Your instruments, your guns, and all the rest of the equipment they're giving you to fight this war with?
It's the best equipment in the world.
That's good. Say, I hear you got your Purple Heart, too.
Yes, Colonel Kendall was in the other day and gave it to me. I was more nervous than when those FWs were diving on us.
Well, outside of that, are they treating you all right around here?
Did you hear that, Miss O'Neill?
Wally's doing okay. Back at the base, they repair your ships, too. The busiest legs in the outfit belong to Major Ace Akins, the S-4.
This airplane's got to fly in the morning. It's going to be ready?
Oh, Major? I don't know, sir.
Well, let's have no ceremony. Let's get the fans turning.
Keep the fans turning. The slogan of the ground crew. They work hard, these boys. They work 90 hours straight without sleep. But your ship is their baby, and she's got to fly. And if you need to repair a few thoughts, Sunday's always a nice day for it, if there's no raid scheduled. What do you know, kid? This church was built 900 years ago. Over at the hospital, Father O'Connor celebrates the Mass. The boys receive Holy Communion. Here's Pete Provenzale. He's leaving the hospital tomorrow. Back to work. The outfit's back to work. The 351st is still flying, Adolf.
Pigeon orders. General orders number 93. Headquarters 8th Bomber Command. 11th July, 1943.
You can't get out of it, you know. They pin medals on you for this sort of work. It's not so much a thrill for you. It's a big kick it will hand the folks back home. The Silver Star, the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Soldier's Medal. Dad and Ma and that certain girl. They'll cut out the clippings and drive the neighbors nuts. Bombardier Stevens, the DFC, because he's been batting 1,000 over Germany. And one to Pilot Peters. He had to ditch in the channel, but his coolness and courage saved his crew. Bill Howells gets 2 clusters on his air medal for straight shooting. DFC to Tim Tutchin. A Focke Wulf and a mountain lion? No difference, he says. The control wires were shot in 2, so the DFC to Sergeant Del Conte, who tied them together, his hands punctured with flap. A Silver Star finds itself next to Provenzali's Purple Heart. He refused first aid till the Jerry fighters quit and stuck to his gun. The day the group led the wing over Schweinfurt, Colonel Hatcher was air commander. To him, the Silver Star. And the DFC to Kenny Hulls. Colonel Gross is smiling because Kenneth was having a Coke in the PX when his name was called. Are you forgetting your 5 confirmed Jerry, Sergeant? We're not. And they don't forget you when you're a little battle-weary and need a rest. At a very gay seaside community, a world-famous resort hotel has been converted for your pleasure by the Red Cross. A great place here. Sleep, eat, or what have you. Hey!
Not on your life, Clark. None of that here.
Oh, but look, Art, just a few shots.
Oh, we're here for a rest. Right, you guys?
Right. Well, all right, then. How's this? I'll follow him around with a silent camera for 1 day. Don't have to say a word. Good deal?
Good deal.
English Surrey with a fringe on top. Nice fringe. Carry you to the old swimming hole. Let down your flaps and slide in. Now let's see what the boys back at the base are doing. Why, they're getting a few laughs, too. We'll let the man who's handing them out tell you about it.
Hello, everybody. This is Bob, somewhere in good old Jolly Hope, laying a few eggs for the boys that really know how to lay them. Yes, sir, this is one of the happier cow pastures that we work in over there in England. And look who's dancing. You know, I used to dance with Fred Astaire, but we couldn't get girls. And right here you see Jack Pepper, who's here through the courtesy of his draft board. His picture's a little dark, I understand, but after we were there a couple of weeks, we got a little braver and we started to work with the lights on. This is really a great, great crowd out there tonight. And I understand Rhett Butler is on the fringe of the crowd. They tell me that they stopped him from flying in those B-17s. They claimed his ears held the plane back. Nice little scene. Shows Pepper trying to get his expense money. Look at that mob. You should have heard him cheer when Francis Langford walked out and when Tony Romano played the guitar. Yes, sir, you'll never know how this bunch of boys picked up our morale.
And again, the weather breaks over the continent, and the handwriting on the wall spreads your story. You're into the 3rd panel now. You've been out 8 days in a row and done a doubleheader over France on the 9th. This man's Air Force is piling it on. 2 combat wings have been added. 2 air divisions formed. So you're not very surprised when General Aker comes that day. Something big is up. He goes into the briefing room to confer with the old man and his staff. They call in the squadron commanders, even the flight commanders. What did he tell them? Your 4 squadron COs. They know, but don't talk. Just grin a little with excitement. It's something big, all right, because the bomb dumps have been getting plenty of heavy stuff lately. And a loading order came through this afternoon. Stand by. More than that, wing racks. We're really going to pile it on. night, as always, when you know a real dilly is coming up, you're a little restless. Out in the dispersals, you hear them winding up those engines. That's all right, ground crew. Make 'em sing. Make 'em sing good.
All right, you guys. Breakfast at 3, briefing at 4.
Okay, man. For security's sake, anyone know what the target is for today? Safe as air? Russell?
Harris.
Oh, we'll see. All right, sir.
Frequency, Deutsch.
This is the longest penetration for this group. We've got an A+ target over here. We've got to get it today. Okay, gentlemen. Stations are at 5:05. Start engines 6:05. Taxi at 6:15. Takeoff 6:30. Got it? That's all. Okay, man. Let's go get this target and we'll take the jet. Check in your station. At the designated splicer point, still over friendly territory, rendezvous with other groups. Your combat wing banks into position. Then wing after wing, as far as the eye can believe, the attack forms. It heads for its assigned targets 500 miles away. Up until this moment, your fighter escort is still on the ground, guarding its limited fuel capacity. Now flight control gives a signal to the Thunderbolts. They climb upstairs to overtake you.
Fighters, 3 o'clock low. Watch it. That should be our escort. You're right, sir. 47s. coast. On the ball, you guys. Hey, get a load of that flag. Can't I throw it any higher than that? Where do you want to have it? In the bomb bay? Why don't you lean out and smell it?
That's right, you guys. Laugh it off. Right now, a bum joke goes better than 2 fingers of rye. Around 3 hours out, Arch looks at his watch. He knows it's time for the fighter escort to turn back. All over the ship, you watch them leave. You're really on the ball now, because you know that enemy fighters will appear any minute. They know exactly where you are. They've been watching the stratosphere condense off your wingtips, giving you away in long trails of magnificent treachery.
Okay, here they are. 9 o'clock high, enemy fighters. Same thing at 3 o'clock.
Yes, at least those vapor trails work both ways. Arch watches the enemy formations as they parallel your course. Seems obvious. They're staying out of range, going out ahead to turn in for a frontal attack high. All turrets swing about to help guard the rear. Top turrets hunt the sky above in all directions. There's some more out there. Keep your eyes peeled. Now it comes. The enemy pours in at you from every point on the dial.
Watch it. Get that one at 3. On number 4. He's going out and down. Check the shift, you guys. One shot out of the tail. 2 out of the waist. The other 2 boys out of the nose. That's 2 more. Pilot the tail. Pilot the tail. Let me know how they're doing back there. Roger. Fighter, 6 o'clock. Coming through. Yep, no chance there. Two 190s, high. Somebody got one of them on the button. That jerk pilot bailed out. He's not walking away from it.
They barrel in at you. A little short on heart, plenty long on guts, this enemy. Another 17 hit. And again, you have to close the gap in the formation. to the sun and up from the ground. Crossing another flak area. It's heavier this time, so black and thick you can almost hear it, and it's more effective.
Shorty's been hit in feather number 4. Cover him all you can, everybody. Pilot to left waist. There's another one working Shorty over. Can you help him? No can do, sir. Out of range.
Beginning of smoke screens announces the approach to the target area. The enemy's been caught off guard. He's trying to cover up. Too late. In desperation, through his own flak, the final Hun fighter makes a pass at the low squadron. Driven off, but still.
Did a fighter or flak get that ship? Flak, I think.
There it is, the flare out of the lead ship. The signal for the bomb run. This is your attack.
All right, Steve. We're on the IP. She's yours. I got her. Lobby doors open.
Yes, make it count, bombardiers. They build these ships around you. Bombs away. The lead group picks out its MPI in the dock area. Let's go with the heavy stuff and the big incendiaries. The high group heads for the industrial section and hands out the same medicine. The low group turns for the adjacent airdrome. It blasts the field, the hangars, and repair shops with hundreds of deadly anti-personnel bombs. A nice pattern, bombardier. Good deal. You can't hear what's going on down there, 5 miles below you. But marshalling yards and chemical tanks, ships and warehouses, spare engines and ball bearing factories are disintegrating in molten chaos. It's thunder out of the Alleghenies, Adolf. You said Americans were soft and decadent? Well, here's a red, white, and blue headache that'll help you change your mind. As the bomb bay doors close, you Take a last look at the target area. The smoke from its burning debris rises 16,000 feet into the air. More flak. The aim's still good down there. How about this trip home? Is it going to be rough?
Pilot to crew. Pilot to crew. Well, you guys, we're over an hour out. They haven't come back at us yet. Looks like we're lucky this trip.
Enemy fighters, 11 o'clock high.
Another 1 o'clock high. Coming level to 3. High. You don't want it. ME, 110, 1 o'clock high. ME at 2 o'clock. I got him. I'll say you did. Bailing out either. Another 110 at 10 o'clock. He's yours, kid. There he goes. He's the pigeon.
Gable commanders throw their pilots into formation with suicide orders. And that's what they get. Formation is tighter than ever. You're not sparing ammunition. You're knocking them down like ballots. One more. And another. In a row for the boys up forward.
That's mine. You see him, kid? Sure do. I'll confirm him all right.
Get this 110. Pull her up, Art. Pull her up.
Yeah, our fighter cover's got here. Out of Fort Smith. Gee! I feel it, Jerry. It's over the dig, pal. Look at that spit. Write him down. Oh, you sweetheart. Good night, sweetheart. Till we meet tomorrow. Good night, sweetheart. Sleep will banish sorrow.
Your shadow on the undercast. The pilot's rainbow. Mission's end, but not the end of the battle. Fighting men from Maine to California still have a long, tough rainbow to travel. But they're looking the enemy right between his eyes. They're fighting him the American way, their American way of life. Enemy of America, look at these men. They're not going to lose, brother.